Let's turn to the neighboring state of Uttar Pradesh, which has been shamed yet again. In less than 24 hours, 2 rape survivors were shot dead by their alleged rapists. One of the survivors was gunned down just days before her scheduled court appearance. The twin cold-blooded killings have once again raised the disturbing question. In India's most populous state, are women a particularly soft target?
Two rape survivors, still holding on to the biting trauma, collected enough courage to testify against their alleged perpetrators. But before they could do so, they were brutally murdered in broad daylight. In Sitapur district of Uttar Pradesh, a rape survivor left home with her husband to meet her in-laws. On the way, she was shot dead by the criminal who had allegedly raped her 2 years ago. When her husband tried to rescue her, he too was assaulted and left injured.
गांव से बाहर थोड़ी दूर निकले तो गांव के ही एक व्यक्ति ने उसको महिला को गोली मार दी।
2013 में हमारी बहन का रेप हुआ था, इसका मुकदमा चल रहा था। होली के बाद में वो छूटा था, शादी में धमकियां दे रहा था कि अगर ये सुलह नहीं होगा तो हम गोली मार देंगे।
In less than 24 hours, another incident of a rape survivor being shot in UP has come to light. This time from Mau district of Uttar Pradesh, where an 18-year-old rape survivor was shot dead in broad daylight. And the murder allegedly was carried out by the accused rapist, who also happens to be the manager of the degree college the girl was studying in.
The woman was allegedly killed by a henchman who was hired by the manager of her college. The survivor had earlier filed a complaint against the manager in 2011. But just 2 days before she was to testify, she was shot dead. What's more shocking is that in both the cases, the cops did not nab anyone, providing further fodder for political leaders to point fingers at the lawlessness in Uttar Pradesh. The two shocking incidents stand a testimony to the chaotic law and order situation in Uttar Pradesh, establishing greater fear among women in the state. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's raise the big question. The shame of Uttar Pradesh. Is it simply a state where women in particular are a soft target? Joining me now, Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party. I'm also in the studio joined by former DG of Police here, Vikram Singh, and by Lalita Kumaramangalam, National Commission for Women Chairperson. Appreciate all of you joining us. Gaurav Bhatia, would you agree that this incident only brings more shame to your state of Uttar Pradesh and the government of Uttar Pradesh of Akhilesh Yadav?
Rajdeep, I would say that it pains the entire state government, and yes, it sullies the image of our state. It is also, it is very painful for us because we have taken a lot of initiatives to curb crime against women and children. And when such an incident happens, it shows us that, you know, there is a lot more that needs to be done. And I assure you that we will be taking very stringent action against such accused persons who are actually violating the rights of other individuals and are breaking the law.
You know, you keep saying you will keep coming on our programs and giving us assurances, Gaurav, which is good. But the fact is that on the ground, the situation is very different. The National Crime Records Bureau statistics show that UP is #1 when it comes to crimes against women. Assurances on TV, fine. The ground reality, very different, Gaurav Bhatia.
Rajdeep, if you would study the NCRB data properly, I would tell you this, that actually UP is, as you were saying, is the worst. That fact is not correct. You cannot compare UP with Andaman Nicobar or a state which has very less population. Let us look at the percentage numbers, and I'll place some figures before you. In Chhattisgarh, the crime rate against women, and I'm talking about the incidence of rape, is at 11.4. In Madhya Pradesh, it is 14. Even in Gujarat, it is around 3. And in UP also, it is 3.5. But UP is portrayed to be a state where law and order doesn't exist. I take strong objection to that.
No, you can take strong objection to that. I have a police officer here with me who served in UP. Am I exaggerating the scale of the problem? Are women more unsafe in UP than any other state, possibly in other parts of North India? Is it simply just too large to govern, and therefore incidents like this will recur because the administration is struggling to cope with the sheer weight of the problem?
Rajdeep, I belong to UP and I know what I'm talking about. Firstly, the police regulations say that there should not be undue reliance on statistics alone. IPS stands for Index of People's Satisfaction. And if the people feel insecure, they are insecure, and the government and the police had better do something about it. No statistics in the world can condone this level of insecurity. I have traveled the whole of the nation, and let me tell you, I have never seen a worst case of scenario of insecurity than what it prevails in the state.
You know, when you say, is there no fear of the law? Is that what it is? Is it boiling down to that? There is no fear of the law today.
I'll put it this way, take these two examples. This has indicative of three things: bad investigation, worse prosecution, no pursuit, hot pursuit of the accused, and the brazen manner in which what has happened, no suspension of police officers who were found remiss, and no declaration of rewards on those who perpetrated this crime. Do you want them to commit the murders or go ahead for further murders? Are you waiting for another incident to happen? This obviously would seem that you do not put your act together. You don't have it in you to pursue them vigorously. You have to be cruel to be kind, to come down heavily on such lumpen elements.
You know, before I bring in Lalita Kumaramangalam, respond to that, Gaurav Bhatia, particularly on the critical issue which is being raised by Mr. Vikram Singh in the context that culprits get away. That is the worry.
No, Rajdeep, three things I would say. I would give you an example how things have improved in the state. There was an incident that happened in Lucknow, and one of the reporters at 11 o'clock tweeted that the girl has been molested. Within half an hour, there was response from the CM office itself, and the culprits were nabbed within a few hours. And even I had responded to that tweet, and we ensured that action will be taken. Now, this is not an exception. There are many cases where the police has done exemplary work and has prevented crime. Those incidents don't get reported.
Those incidents don't get reported?
I would say, Rajdeep, I belong to the police. I respect the UP police. I respect Mr. Gaurav Bhatia. But I wish I would be honest. Today, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia is a different person. At least he acknowledges the deep sense of anguish that the victims and the people of UP are suffering. But at the same time, a single swallow does not a spring make. A single incident is not indicative of the larger malaise and the disease that has set in.
You know, my other worry, and I'll bring in Lalita Kumaramangalam at this point, my larger worry is if something like this happened in the national capital, two victims of rape going to the court are shot dead. One of them is shot dead on the way to the court. There would be an outcry, there would be outrage. The National Commission of Women would have an immediate inquiry. Because it happens in Uttar Pradesh, is there a sense that once it doesn't happen in the major metros, even the National Commission of Women doesn't give it the kind of attention that it should be given? That the poor in this country, a poor woman has less chance of getting justice than someone perhaps who is in a big city.
May I be totally honest, Rajdeep, without trying to play any politics here?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what party is in power. The fact is that in UP, women are unsafe. Women have absolutely no importance in the social fabric of that state. And whatever the politicians in power there, regardless of what party is in power again, say about trying to improve the situation, it doesn't seem to improve. The National Commission of Women will take cognizance of this, and we will send off whatever necessary letters, etc. we have to do immediately. But the fact is that nobody bothers in UP. We have, we get about 100 to 150 complaints a day. 60 to 70% of them are from UP. And we write incessantly letters to the police, to the DM, everybody.
Are you saying 60 to 70% of your...
in a month, it's a big thing.
You're saying 60 to 70% of the total complaints you get are from UP?
60 to 70% of complaints in the total complaints are from UP.
You know,
and they range from rape to domestic violence to just physical assault. I mean, the depth and breadth of the complaints is mind-boggling. But even worse is the fact that despite fairly stringent laws that exist in the state, the police just does not take enough action. Now, whose fault it is, all of this, I mean, I'm not going to go into great detail here because it's a never-ending argument. But the fact is that when we write even letters, you know, when we take suo motu notice and send them letters, ask for replies, ask for action taken reports, if out of 200 even 10 replies are received, it's a big thing.
You know, you're giving us...
I mean, we are now looking for ways to... I'm giving you frightening statistics and it's the truth. I mean, if you want the number of complaints every day, I can give it to you. But statistics are not merely enough. It's also the indifference of the people in Uttar Pradesh towards the very, very pathetic state of women there.
Let Vikram Singh respond, ma'am.
If this had happened in Delhi or Bangalore, there would have been a huge public outcry.
You're making a lot of...
because it's in UP, nobody seems to bother.
Quick response, Vikram Singh. Is there indifference? Is there really indifference to this issue, both among the police and the people?
Indifference is an understatement, callousness, and I suppose that...
Among the people also?
Not among the people, among the police force. What prevents you from pursuing...
You are part of that police force. You have led that police force. Don't tell me that things have only changed in the last couple of years. There must be a systemic problem over the last 10-20 years.
There is a systematic problem. I'll say why. Are the top 5 criminals of every police station identified and every 50 top criminals identified in the district? No. Are rewards being announced on the top criminals? No. Are they being hunted down and in a bloodthirsty manner? Legally speaking, you have to pursue all the criminals very vigorously with a sense of purpose and with a sense of commitment. Has that happened? That has not happened. The criminals seem to be having a freedom. And for ma'am, may I submit that your office summoned me as Director General of Police to compliment me for the good action that was taken by the UP police to safeguard the women. At the same time, there was a DG from my neighboring state. He was called and given a dressing down by your predecessor for action not taken by him.
That is in the past. We are now in 2015. Let me get one final comment from you, Gaurav Bhatia. You know, the kind of comments that your leaders, particularly your Netaji Mulayam Singh Yadav, has made on you know, one of his recent comments. One commits rape and then 4 more are named. Kaisa aisa ho sakta hai kya? Aisa practically nahi. Almost suggesting a gang rape cannot take place. Then you remember his famous comment, boys are boys, they will make mistakes, in the context of a rape that took place in Mumbai. It almost seemed that the political leadership also doesn't take the issue seriously.
UP leadership, and I speak for Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav and Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, takes any crime against women and children very seriously. In fact, the comment that Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav had made on the last occasion was not shown in totality. Only a piece of that speech was shown. He, in that very same speech, told the Chief Minister and other senior ministers that ensure that there is speedy justice given to women. Ensure that rapes don't happen in this state if we have to progress. And these important aspects of the speech were completely left out. Now, I think it is under his guidance only that UP is the first state that has commissioned a women's power line. No other state has done it. And Raddeep, I take great pride in sharing this with the viewers that more than 2.25 lakh complaints have been redressed through this power line. Mr. Akhilesh Yadav has ensured that every district in UP has a fast-track court to deal with crime against women.
You know, you seem to be suggesting almost as if you are a victim of a stereotype. Then final word from you, Lalita Kumaramangalam. Do you have a message to the government in UP? Do you have a message to the people of UP, the police of UP? 30 seconds.
You know, to the police of UP, I'd like to say that wake up. One day this is going to really boomerang badly on them. To the people of UP, I tell them to have more courage. The thing is, they're so scared that, I mean, like these 2 poor girls were shot today, I would tell them to not lose courage. And to the government, I'd like to tell them that the day women realize that their vote counts and they can vote people out of power, I think that is the day that they will realize that they are just not paying enough attention to women.
Okay, you're saying almost create a women's vote bank to shake the system out of its slumber, particularly in a state like Uttar Pradesh. Lalita Kumaramangalam, NCW chairperson, Vikram Singh, former DG UP, Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party. I appreciate all of you being here on one of my talking points tonight.